What if I told you that your first high ticket client is actually hiding right here? That's right, the businesses that you're already paying every single month are your warmest leads. And so that's why in this video, I want to show you the exact playbook that I wish I had when I was first starting out in order to convert my network into a full-time income. Hi, I'm Anthony, and welcome to the #1 community for AI voice agents. Here, we use AI to unlock the freedom that we want in our businesses and our lives. So, in this video, I'm going to show you the exact free system called the Freedom Pipeline in order to convert your network into a full-time income. And we're going to do that in just a couple minutes. So, let's go ahead and get started. The reason why most people fail at transforming their network into a full-time income is that they're not treating it like a system. They send a couple messages, make a couple cold calls, and then quit. They treat it like a lottery ticket, hoping for a lucky win. But freedom isn't built on luck, it's built on systems. And this pipeline is going to convert a list of just random names into a predictable process. It removes all the fear and emotion of selling. You're not just selling anymore, you're following a proven, predictable playbook one step at a time. And this is exactly how you will unlock your freedom. Let's go ahead and build our freedom pipeline. First, go to Google Sheets and create a new Google Sheet. We're going to name it Freedom Pipeline. After that, we're going to make 4 columns. First one's going to be called name. Next is going to be called business or the context. Then relationship level and status. After that, we're going to go right ahead and start just listing out names of different people that you know. It could be family members. It could be business owners that you know. It could be friends. It could be random strangers if you want. But I would suggest starting with getting the list of names from your phone contacts and from your credit card statements. Because obviously that's going to be your warmest leads and the people that are going to be most likely to basically convert into that full-time income that you're looking for. So once you've basically gone through your phone contacts and your credit card statements, go ahead and list the names of the different people who own a business who might have a need for something called an AI voice agent. And that's basically going to be either an AI receptionist that's going to answer the phone 24/7 and book appointments, or you can even do something like outbound calls in order to re-engage old leads and to basically make more money based on old leads. Next, we're going to finish the business and context column. Now, don't overthink this. Just go ahead and write basically what kind of industry that they're in. This is going to be important for later on when we decide exactly which niche that we want to focus on. Finally, we're going to have to write the relationship level. This basically just means, okay, well, are they a close friend or family, or are they more of a professional relationship? And the point of this is that we're going to have 2 different scripts. One of them is going to be a more casual one, which is what we're going to use when contacting friends and family. And the other one's going to be a more professional one that we're going to use for doing things like neighbors or local community business owners or things like your barber or something like that. So the last thing to do is go ahead and contact each of them. So the easiest way to do this is going to be using a script or a template just to do something that's already been proven to work. And so the 2 that I would use is one for family and one for professional contact. So for family, one thing that you could say is something like, "Hey, Uncle Mike, how are you doing? I know you've been really busy managing your hardware store lately, so I've been learning about how AI can answer every single phone call 24/7 to help you save time and money. I've already built a demo for you to show exactly how it does this. Would you like to see what it can do for your store?" So obviously what I just did there was, just a nice, warm opening. And then I also customized it a little bit because we know that this guy owns a hardware store. So, just making sure that we're making it sound like it's actually personalized and not just general for everybody. And then we're basically saying, okay, well, here's what we can do for you. Here's the offer. Here's how it can transform your company. We're going to give you an AI that can answer every single call 24/7, which is going to help you save time and make more money. Like what usually when people hear that, they're already very interested. And we've already built it. So this basically decreases the amount of friction that's required for them to go ahead and get started. So as you can see, we've incorporated a lot of different elements in order to make this as smooth as possible. And the other one that we could use for the professional contacts is something like this. "Hi, John. I'm one of your customers over at your address." You just replace this with whatever your address is. "And I wanted to say that I'm extremely happy with your service. With how good your service is, you must be very busy with answering calls. I've been learning about how AI can answer every single phone calls 24/7 to help you save time and money. I've already built a demo for you to show exactly how it does this. Would you like to see what it can do for your business?" So as you can see, the ending here is the exact same thing because we've already proven that this is very good. But the beginning is just a little bit of rapport building, saying that, we've already worked with you. We know that your service is very good. You must be very busy because your service is very good. So obviously, you can customize this to however you want, or you could just write it manually wherever you want. But this is just what I found that works the best, and I'm already giving it to you. I'm already giving it to you, so you may as well use it and not reinvent the wheel. So that's exactly what I would do. And you just basically just go ahead and do this for each of them. Obviously, you don't have to type it out every single time because when you're talking to them in real person, you're probably not going to want to be reading from a script. So just go ahead and try this a couple times, and then once you kind of get used to it, it's gonna be like second nature. So once you reach out to your contacts, some of them might say, okay, yeah, sure, let's go ahead and schedule a demo. Or they might say, okay, well, I'm not interested in it right now, maybe later. So just depending on what they say, you can go ahead and update this status column so that we can keep track of who's been contacted, who has yet to be contacted, who has scheduled a demo, and who has closed the deal. So as you can see here, for someone like the precision pavers, we've set them to contact because we have yet to talk to them. But if you have talked to them and they say that, okay, well, we're not interested in right now, you can change it to contacted just so that you know to not contact them again, at least within like a couple of weeks because you don't want to constantly be talking to somebody who's not interested in what you have. And then another thing is if they schedule a demo, you could change it to schedule demo. Let's say that somebody says, okay, well, let's go ahead and schedule a demo for next week on Sunday or something like that. Then we know that we're ready to basically make that demo for them. And finally, if we've closed, and if they say like, yeah, we definitely want this, and you definitely move on with that contract, then you could change it to close, so that obviously you're not gonna sell them something again that you've already sold them. Another thing is, by the way, you don't actually have to build the demo for them, even though we've said that we built the demo for them, but you don't actually have to build it right now. The beautiful thing is you can actually just watch one of my tutorials and get it done in 1 hour so that you don't actually have to do it beforehand. You can just wait for them to say, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and schedule a demo. And then you can watch my tutorial on that and get it done, so that way you're not wasting all this time building stuff that people aren't even trying to buy from you yet. So that's just a really efficient way to be like, okay, well, I'm going to get this set up for you. It's going to be very low friction, but I'm not even going to build it yet. I'm going to build it, after you've given me confirmation that you definitely want to see this. Once one of your contacts has agreed to see the demo, all that you need to do is go ahead and build the AI voice agent and send them a phone number for them to call and test it out. And so this is exactly what I'm going to show you how to do right now. Even if you're starting with zero experience, you can literally learn how to do this in less than 10 minutes. But let's go ahead and get started right now. First, you're going to need to go to a website called vappy.ai. I'll put the link in the description. It's basically just the most beginner-friendly website for developing and deploying AI voice agents. Once you've signed up for free, you can go ahead and click on Create Assistants, and we can name it whatever we want. I'll just leave it as the default, just to keep it nice and simple. Then click on Create Assistant, and then we're going to have a new assistant, and then the voice is going to be defaulted to Elliot. Now, the next thing we need to do to configure our AI voice agent is go ahead and change the model. Now, you can choose any model that you want. The one that I've found works the best is GPT 4.1 mini. The first message mode that we're going to use is the assistant speaks first with a model generated message. And what that basically means is that when somebody calls the phone number, this agent's going to pick up the phone and it's going to speak first. If you set it to wait for the user, then it's really awkward because they think that nobody's picked up the phone and they're just going to hang up. So this is definitely the best one to use. And since we're using a model generated message, we can just get rid of the first message and not worry about that because we're going to include the first message into the system prompt, which is basically the instructions for our AI voice agent. Now, the easiest way to get this information is just go over to my school community. I'm going to make a post in the templates tab over here, and you're just going to click on that post, and you're going to click on the file and go ahead and hit download. Now, since I've already downloaded all those files, I'm going to show you exactly where to get it from. So the file that we need today is going to be called appointment setter prompt landscaping.json. So go ahead and double click that to open, then click Control A, Control C to copy, then go back over to Vappy. Then go ahead and hit Control A to select all and Control V to paste. And that's going to basically input our system prompt over here for our system prompt. And as you can see, all it's basically doing here is it's saying something like, okay, well, here is our business's name. And this is the name for the AI. You are Sunny, a friendly and professional scheduling agent for Greenscape Landscape. And so basically the point here is that the important part is we're going to have a conversational playbook, which is basically going to give our AI agent the steps that it needs to take in order to book the appointment. And that's basically going to help our business make money. So that's absolutely beautiful. And then obviously, we're going to use different tools in order to be able to book that appointment. So next thing we can do is if you want, you can change these settings, just make it a little bit better. You can choose from thousands of different voices. And again, these basically don't cost you any additional money. So now we can go over to the tool section and we can click on select tools because now we need to create a new tool. So before we do that, let's go ahead and publish just so that we save our progress. And then we're going to click on create new tool. Now we're going to need two different tools for this agent. The first one is going to be called check availability. So click on create tool, custom tool, and we're going to name the tool check availability. Now the point of this is we need to give our agent the ability to check the availability in our Google Calendar. So next thing we need to do here is go ahead and scroll down to the parameter section. Go ahead and click on visual editor. This is going to make it extremely easy for us to just paste in the tool JSON. So we're going to go ahead and get that from our files. And it's going to be called checkavailability.json. So go ahead and double click on that to open. Control A, Control C to copy. Control A, Control V to paste. Click apply. And if you want to see what it looks like using no code, you can go ahead and uncheck the visual editor. And as you can see, we're just going to go ahead and collect an initial search date and time, which is basically going to tell us, okay, well, which like one time we're going to actually check availability for. So we're going to go ahead and click save to save that. All right, and the second tool that we need is going to be called book on-site estimate. So we're going to hit create tool, create a custom tool, and we're to name it book on-site estimate. And this is going to allow our agent in order to book an appointment into the Google Calendar that's going to give information about the on-site estimate. Now, again, go ahead and skip to the parameter section, click on visual editor, and we're going to paste in the information right here. Here, the file is going to be called book on-site estimate. So go ahead and double click on that to open. Then we're going to hit Control A to select all, Control C to copy, go back over here, Control V to paste, and then hit apply. And again, if we go ahead and uncheck this, we can see what we're actually collecting. We're collecting a client's name, a property address, the service of interest, start time, and end date time. So the point of this is basically saying, okay, well, somebody's going to call in and we're going to ask them, what's your name? What's your address? And also, what kind of service are you interested in? And obviously, this is for a landscaping AI voice agent. It's probably going to say something like, okay, well, we're going to need to do some landscaping probably, right? So go ahead and hit save. And now we just have completed making our two tools. So next thing we need to do is go back to assistance, scroll down to the tool section, and then we need to go ahead and select the two tools that we created because this will basically give it to our AI voice agent and say, here, take my tools and now you're able to use this to do some work like checking availability and booking the on-site appointment. So go ahead and hit publish to save. And now that that is done, all that is left to do is basically connect Vappy with N8N. Now, N8N is going to be our back-end server that's going to do all the automated work. It's also very easy to do. I'll show you exactly how to do that later. But the way that we do that is we're going to go down to the messaging section down here. Then we're going to look for the server URL. And server URL is basically just going to be something that we get from N8N in order to pass in over here. So actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and set up our phone number. So go ahead and click on phone numbers. And then we're going to create a new phone number. You can actually create up to 10 US phone numbers for absolutely free, which is amazing. So go ahead and click on any area code that you want. And then click on create. And as you can see, it's going to go ahead and start activating that phone number. So the last thing we need to do here is go ahead and scroll down to the inbound settings, since this is an inbound receptionist. And then we're going to click on select assistant. And then we're going to click on the assistant that we just created. And basically what that means is now whenever somebody calls this phone number, this is going to be the AI agent that answers the phone and handles that call. So go ahead and scroll up and hit save. All right, so this is when we're going to go ahead and go over to N8N to get that server URL to pass into the assistance, the messaging section over here, right? So go to a website called N8N. I'm going to put the link in the description for you to check that out. And again, this is completely free. Now you can go over to these three dots, click on the three dots, click on import from file. And then the file is going to be called appointment setter workflow landscaping. So go ahead, click open. And just like that, you can see that it just created it in just 3 seconds, which is really, really cool. And so the important part here is we can see webhook production URL equals Vappy's server URL. So go ahead and double click on this one. And then we're going to go ahead and get the production URL and then click on the URL just a couple times to make sure that it copies. And go back over to Vappy. Click on the server settings, the server URL, and go ahead and paste it into here. Then we're going to hit publish just to save that. Oh, and by the way, if you want to make it a little bit cleaner, you can scroll down to the server messages and just uncheck almost all of these. So hit select all twice, just uncheck. And the only information that we need to collect is the tool calls information. So go ahead and check that and then hit publish. So just like that, we have finished our AI voice agent Vappy setup. All that's left to do is go ahead and finish the N8N setup. So go back over to N8N. And then as you can see, number one, it says configuration edit me. So to go ahead and double click on this. And here we're just going to set our time zone and things like, okay, well, what time do we start working? Because we don't want to be basically booking appointments for like, let's say like 2 in the morning, right? If you're not trying to, go to somebody's house at 2 in the morning. So that's the point of this. You can change this to whatever your business does. Now, once you're done with that, we're going to do number two, get Google Calendar events. So double click on this. And if you haven't already, go ahead and create your credential. I'm going to link to the tutorial where I show you how to do that. But that will basically allow you to basically choose your calendar in order to do things like checking availability and booking appointments. So once you've done that, go ahead and choose the mode, which is going to be from the list. And then it's going to list all of your calendars just so it's extremely easy for you to choose here. So my calendar is this one right here. So that is all done. So this is all done. And by the way, this is the route for when somebody uses the check availability route. This is what it's going to use to check the availability, and then it's going to respond to the AI voice agent saying, yeah, so on Friday we have slots available for 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m., whatever it might be, right? And once that's done, then the person calling is probably going to try to book an on-site estimate, and that's basically when they're going to go down here, and we're going to do number three, book an on-site estimate in the Google Calendar. So go ahead and double click on this guy. And same thing here, it's going to auto-populate with the credential that you just created. And then the calendar mode is again going to be from the list. And then you're going to select your calendar. I'm just going to do this one into my demo calendars to show you how, exactly how clean it works. And so the important part here is basically we're going to collect things like client name, and their address, like we said earlier. And this just makes it really, really clean. Like when you're looking at your calendar, so yeah, you exactly see like what's their name, what's their phone number, their address, and what kind of service that they're looking for. So that's absolutely perfect. Now that that's all done, all that's left to do is go ahead and hit save. And then we're going to hit on this button here to turn the workflow to active. And basically what that means is now this workflow is going to be actively listening for information that's going to be passed to it from the AI voice agent. We need to make sure that it's set to active. And now the last thing that there's stuff to do is go ahead and go back over to VAPI, click on phone numbers. And now that we've seen that this is completely activated, so we just need to give this a call and go ahead and test it out.
Hi, thank you for calling Greenscape Landscaping. This is Sunny. I can help you book a free on-site estimate. Is that what you're looking for today?
Hey, what's up, Sonny? Yeah, I need a free on-site estimate, please.
Fantastic. To make sure we send the right specialist, could you tell me a bit about the project you have in mind? Are you looking for recurring maintenance, a new installation, or something else?
Yeah, I'm looking for you guys to basically lay down some bricks in my front yard so I can make a garden.
That sounds like a great project. What is the full property address where the estimate will take place?
Yeah, so the my address is 123 Main Street, Los Angeles, 90210.
Got it. Now let's find a time for our estimator to come by. What day would be best for you?
Yeah, could you guys do this Wednesday?
Okay, I have a few times where our estimator will be in your area on Wednesday, September 24th, 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m., 10 a.m., or 10:30 a.m. Would any of those work for you?
Sure, let's go ahead and do 9 a.m., please.
Perfect. And what is your full name, please?
My name is Anthony Ton, Ton.
Okay, Anthony Ton. Just to confirm, I'm booking a free estimate for laying down brick in your front yard to make the garden at 123 Main Street, Los Angeles 90210 for Wednesday, September 24th at 9 a.m. Is that all correct?
That is correct.
Excellent. Your on-site estimate is confirmed. We've sent a confirmation to your number, and we look forward to seeing you then. Have a wonderful day.
All right, thanks very much. All right. All right, so as you can see, that was absolutely beautiful. Look, it even created the title called Estimate, laying down bricks in front of yard for garden. Like that's absolutely amazing detail and got everything correct. Like the address is correct, phone number is correct, name is correct, address is correct, service interest is correct. Everything is perfect. So as you can see, I just showed you how to build it in like 5 minutes. Remember, if you want to get that documented and how to do this in just 5 minutes, go ahead and go to my school community. I'm going to make a post. Go ahead and hit download. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and also create like a blank sheet of this just so that it's really easy for you to get started and also like have like the scripts just ready for you to insert, and so you can get started with this literally in 5 minutes. So that's crazy. And also, if you have any questions, you can go over here to the community tab and click on community. And I literally answer every single question, as you can see. And I'm on top of this. And I'm really here to make sure that you guys are able to make the progress that you need in order to, like I said, make that full time income that you're all trying to get the freedom that you want. So, guys, if you enjoyed the video, smash the subscribe button. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Have a good one.